This March, downtown Montgomery comes alive like never before. Introducing Open on Dexter, a month-long celebration of creativity, culture, and commerce. We're transforming vacant spaces into dynamic destinations. Pop-up stores featuring local makers, immersive art installations, and live music filling the streets of Lower Dexter. Whether you're a shopper, foodie, art lover, or entrepreneur, this is your invitation to be part of something big. Want in? Download the Open On app by visiting openonmgm.com for exclusive deals, event updates, and insider access to Montgomery's hottest new experience. Join us for Open on Dexter, where Montgomery meets momentum.
Awesome. Thank you for that video. Thank you for the introduction. I'm excited for this program as well and for everything that is happening on Open on Dexter. It's an exciting opportunity for all of us as creatives in the city to join and be a part of the revitalization of the downtown and hopefully many other areas that are here. So I'm going to go ahead and share that screen again so we can go ahead and run through that. Many of you have already seen this, but just so we have that quick clarification on how to do this, in case you want to share with your friends, family, and other artists, right? Go to the Think All Be All page, www.thinkallbeall.com, slide on down to MGM Busking, sign up today, and you can tell them with all the wonders of the world that there are these 3 steps that you need to follow. All the information that's within those articles breaks down what you need to know and how to actually join the busking program. As of the month of March, you do not need a license, but I did include the license information in our second article here, because if you want to continue this beyond the month of March, it's going to be imperative that you complete this application. I have all of the information for you, so you can meet with me in person. We'll get that set up. We'll also keep a record of that to remind you, hey, it's time to go do this thing, and walk you through those steps. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to ask me. In reference to the actual program itself and some of the tips and tricks, if there is anything that you really want me to answer, please put it in the chat. I will check that momentarily. But from here, I'm going to proceed to this Access the Guidebook. We're going to download this, and I'm going to share this tab instead so that we can go through the MGM Busking Program 2.0. All right. Are you all able to see that screen? Yes, I'm assuming so. All right, so MGM Busking Program 2.0, basically, essentially, busking is street performance, and it is street performance in the most natural, most organic way possible. It is where you're going to get the most feedback from your community in real time, and if you have not prepared for that, this is a great way to do that. I've done busking for quite some time. As Think All Be All, we did shows called Live Art Fridays, where we would set up downtown in front of the train shed area and just perform for our community absolutely for free. We did for tips if they wanted to, but the main premise here was that the individuals would be able to come and enjoy the wonders of the Think All Be All space and the music and entertainment in the downtown area and try to draw our crowds there. And so essentially that is the same thing we're doing in this busking program. Let me go back to my screen here. All right. So of course, as we go through this, we have our objectives. What is the busking, or what is busking, which we've already spoken through that. How to join the program, I've pretty much shown you that, but I'll still go through it and how to get started. All right. Again, busking is the act of performing and providing entertainment in public spaces for the exchange for voluntary tips. Also, as an exchange for your busking opportunities, you can do, or you can ask for airtime. Not really ask, but it's suggested that you check and see if there are things like radio opportunities, performance opportunities, other spaces, collaborative efforts. All of those count as things that you can take on as a part of your quote-unquote tip space. Many of the performances that I've actually been booked for were through busking, but we didn't call it busking at that time because that ordinance and that opportunity hadn't existed the way that it does now. Let's go through here. The main components of busking are these three areas here: showcasing your talent, being able to connect with your community, and then of course earning your tips. The first two things are the things that are most important to me. Showcasing your talent, giving artists the ability to express themselves in various ways, whether it is through the actual essence of your performance or through the communication about what you do, because there are a lot of art forms that exist that we haven't seen, and many people don't know about them in general. So if you have a fresh new idea, a fresh new take on your artistry, this is definitely an opportunity to showcase that and get us connected and well versed in that. Even though I've been a musician and I've been a creative for almost 26 years now, there's still a million things on earth that I have no clue even exist. So please take this as an opportunity to show us, those that are developing this program, but also those that are the natives of this space and the tourists and the rest of the world that's going to be here, the skill sets that you have. And of course, all of that goes back to that community connection. And of course, those dollars that come in, and we'll talk about that briefly so that I can fully explain that. How to get started, which all of you, or almost all of you, have gone ahead and done this. Those 3 easy steps that were on the Think I'll Be All page. Sign up for that busking program, which is the Google link. We're just taking in that information so that we can keep you in a database and remember to get you squared away for all the things a part of the program, as well as the continuation of busking afterwards. Applying for the actual busking permit for the month of March, you do not need to do that, but come April 1st, we're going to make sure that we have you on board to go ahead and get that official license. That official license is with the city of Montgomery. It's $25 for the entire year, and it renews every January 31 of whatever that year is. So if you get it now, or you get it in April 2026, you'll renew it again. I wish I had my license on me, so I could have shown you what it looks like. But it's a very simple, easy license to get. And again, walking through that process with me, I'll have the application and any of the other documents that you need to go ahead and do that. And then of course, reviewing the busking ordinance. That's just the rules and regulations that the city has in place. And they're very simple, very easy to follow, so it shouldn't be a problem at all. And then we'll move into you actually receiving your payment when it comes to the overall busking program. So in this particular instance, because we're doing it on behalf of the city of Montgomery, through several of the departments here, the pay will come from them to me, and I will pay out to you $100 an hour for your selected and confirmed locations. Let me express very clearly, the only way that you can be a part of this program is if you sign that Google form, agreed to the terms there, and then secured your busking session. I check every single session to see if you've done the first step, or I guess that's technically step number 2. If you've done step number 2, which is sign up through that Google form. If you have not done that, again, you will not be a part of this, and I cannot proceed to pay you for the busking session that you do. And technically, I will not have even scheduled you for that. And I've been asked that a few times, and I just want to clarify that. You do need to do that step first. But once you have, and you've completed that, I'll have an account of it. You'll have a recognition through your Google email or whichever email you've put in with a confirmation that you've done that session. And you'll also receive a follow-up that says, hey, you've completed that session and we are good to go. And then step 5, of course, is the actual performing. So best practices. Of course, being respectful of the environment that you're in. Remember that this is still a public performance. It's still a professional performance. And so your best behavior, your best attitude, your best motivation, discipline, all of those things go into making this the most wonderful and accessible thing that we have to offer. Of course, you can accept those tips, have your tip bucket, tip hat, if you want to put it in a case, whatever that looks like. But be aware that having that will increase your chances to make a nice dollar. This is also an opportunity for you to promote yourself. Myself and my team here at Think I'll Be All and the rest of the city will also be around capturing footage. So again, please fill out that sign-up form because it has a video and photography release in it that will be utilized, and we'll capture that so that we can expand on this program and quite a few other programs that will exist in the city. And of course, the most important thing is being safe. Please do not do anything in the middle of the street. Please do not do anything that requires flames or knives or And that's something that gets asked of me every time, so we're going to clarify that. I see we have, let's refer to, read this really quickly. To answer that question, no, that is a separate, I think it's Alicia, that is a separate thing that I can talk about personally with you. All right. Of course, this is probably the most important next to staying safe, packing appropriately. As a busker, you need to understand that everything that you bring with you needs to go back with you. So packing lightly is paramount, meaning if you are a pianist, which I am, for instance, having all of my stands, having all of my speakers, if need be. The biggest thing with busking is usually it is an acoustically done session, but you can have battery packs. I have a battery pack that charges for about, well, it allows me to use it for like 12 hours. You can find that material or that usage item at like your Harbor Freight or your Lowe's or any of those types of stores. And you can plug in all of your electronic needs. If you need just a speaker, there are Bluetooth speakers that are accessible. You can find those things at like a Guitar Center, or you can order them online, of course. You can order everything online. But if you have those things, it does make it easier for you in this type of session if you need any electronic based performance equipment. If not, then of course showing up with your stool, your tip jar. If you're a dancer, you can dance freely, you can have music in your head, but preferably have something of substance that will allow the audience to also engage with you in a greater form. And then of course, leaving your spaces clean. The city does a wonderful job of making sure downtown stays beautiful, and we're going to do our best to keep in tandem with that standard. If there's any point at which it gets reported that you have not cleaned your space, number one, you'll probably be hearing from me, but number two, you'll probably be hearing from the city, and we'd like to avoid that altogether. Again, we are keeping a record of every space and everything that happens in those spaces as best we can, and we want to maintain the city standards and their ordinances so that, again, this opportunity continues. With that being said, if you need any other assistance or if there's anything else that I can answer for you in this moment, please do that now. But that is the majority of what busking is and what it takes to actually pull that off. So let's swap back over to my screen here, and then I can go through anything that you all have questions regarding. So I'm gonna stop sharing that. All right, welcome. If you need to ask a question, please come off mute. Let's see. I perform in a duet. How would that work in regards to booking sessions and pay? Okay, glad you asked that. So when you're booking a session, the individuals can book separate sessions, so that's one way. If you do a duet and you want to perform in that same space, the pay is going to be based on that particular space. So if two of you show up to one location and do it, you're going to split that payment. If you both book individually, then you'll get the $100 for your location, but you've got to do your set, and the $100 for whomever is going to do their set in that particular area. There are 4 locations: the Crest on Dexter location, the Map 360 location, the 79A where that bar and restaurant used to be, and then there is Citizens Park. Citizens Park surprised me, but it's okay. It is the mural that is across from 23 Court. If you know where that is, it's downtown by the fountain, as if you are heading up Court Street, if that makes sense to the directionally adept. But that location is right across from 23 Court. And I should have included a map here, and my apologies for not doing that. I had meant to prepare that, and that's on me. But I'll make sure that there is a on the website that there is a map either between now and tomorrow morning that'll exist. That'll have that those locations circled and pinned for you, so you'll know exactly where they are. Any other questions regarding how this works? Or are we typing them in? And are there any questions out here in the audience? Oh, good.
Is there a minimum of how, or maximum how many slots that we can take throughout the month?
Okay, so the question was, or is, are there a minimum or maximum of bookings that can be done? Technically, no. But here's what happens. If you book all the sessions, you're probably going to get a confirmation email from me of your session being canceled, so that we can make sure that there are spaces left for other buskers and newer buskers that are finding out. So ideally, you would book 1 to 2 hours worth of a session, which is a little bit easier to confirm. And if there are changes that need to be made, it's easier to deal with those because we can just fill in those spaces. But ideally, you would book up to two sessions at a time. The following weeks, you can go ahead and schedule, but if there are more participants than we are expecting in the time slots that we have, I will communicate with you that, hey, we probably want to open this session up, if you've already done a few sessions, to new participants so that they can also receive this benefit and showcase their skills and talents as well. Cool. Yes?
This might be off topic, but are there any rules or specifications regarding our tips?
So are there any rules and specifications regarding the tips? Technically, no. Whatever you receive in a tip is something that was voluntarily given to you. And this is outside of the $100 an hour, that incentive that we're paying for you to be in that space. You're providing a service to the city of Montgomery, to the audience abroad for that particular hour. And so that's where the incentive comes from. But technically, busking in true essence is you being out there, no incentive financially, receive your tips, whatever other opportunities that come from it. And so again, it being a wonderful opportunity for you to showcase what you do and market and brand the way that you know how to do it best, right? So that's the true form of what busking is, and hopefully we'll continue this process whether the incentive exists or not, but that it becomes a regular standard for individuals to be able to busk and understand that tip space is available to them at all. And again, because you weren't here earlier, after the month of March, you will have to actually secure a busking license with the city of Montgomery, which is only $25, and I have all the information, all the resources to help you walk through that process. See, is there anything else I might have missed? Nope, I think that's everything. Yeah, so from follow-up from me, you will receive very shortly some more tips and tricks about busking and the equipment, as well as things not to do and not to include in your busking session. I'll make sure that I'll get that done. If not late tonight, it will be somewhere in the morning, but it'll definitely be in the morning, probably between 8 and 10 o'clock that'll come out. And I will send that to you all directly so that I can ensure you have it. Yes?
Can you show us how to contact thinkallbeall?
Yes, actually I can show you how to contact thinkallbeall. The wonders of the World Wide Web. So let me share this tab instead. We'll go back. Anywhere on the thinkallbeall website, there's this information on every screen at the bottom. You can contact me via email, via this phone number. If you have my personal number, go ahead and do that. If you want to message me on Instagram, Facebook, if you want to find one of my friends and tell them to harass me, that's fine too. Just as long as you've got any of this information, you'll be able to access me. And I do try my best to respond as quickly as possible because I don't want to forget anything. So yeah, there we go. That's how you contact thinkallbeall. Well, thank y'all for being a part of this. I've taken enough of your time, and I hope that y'all enjoy the rest of your nights and are prepared to do your first busking session if it is your first time. For those of you that have been a part of the program already, thank you for coming back. We appreciate you. All right, take care.